Hello, Spiritual Formation class and Professor Dave. This is Jana Montgomery here, talking about Celebration of Disciplines by Foster, answering my 3 questions, and hopefully I will not forget the one part I keep forgetting this time. What did you find most compelling about Foster's comments in the introduction, and why? What I selected was the part with the 3 catalysts, when he talks about the people that God brought into his life to influence the writing of the book. Specifically, the pastor that he called, that he wanted him to pray with him, and he turned around and started confessing his sins, and then he was like, okay, do you want me to pray for you now? As if to say, okay, I need you not to put me on this pedestal. I'm here because, I'm here to help you do the book. And I think it's fascinating how God always provides believers with people in the kingdom to further his kingdom. So I just thought that was fascinating. What did you find the most compelling about what Foster describes as the inward disciplines, and why? For me, what was most compelling was the part about meditation. I'm skipping ahead. The part about how people don't know how to explore the inward life. Which I think is fascinating, because back then in biblical times, they did these things all the time. So obviously, you didn't have somebody, you didn't have Frank coming around the corner with the fatted calf talking about it's Tuesday and everybody's like, dude, we're fasting. That never happened. I'm sure that never happened, because they knew. And you didn't have people saying, well, what do I do? How do I fast? That was part of the culture. It was ingrained, and it's not now. The way I kind of feel like is practical application, I was part of a church that did corporate fast the beginning of the year, and I had never been a part of a church that did that before, and I was completely lost. So they gave instructions, and even the first lady even went so far as to put recipes on Facebook as to what would be ideal for the fast. But what I thought was interesting was, that was necessary, because nobody knows. Even if they've done this every year somebody says, well, what can I eat? What can't I eat? What should I do? Also the fact that, like, my husband and I have talked about fasting off and on, and his thing was, it shouldn't always have to relate to food. It could be giving up something that you really enjoy and dedicating that time to God. And the third question was, identify anything you found troubling and why. So what I found interesting, I guess borderline troubling, was the whole section about meditation. And I had been taught forever that meditation was bad. You don't do that. And then even though I know it's in the Word talking about you meditate on his Word day and night, I always thought that meant pray, really, to be honest. But what I liked in the book was the quote that it talks about the differences between Eastern and meditation and Christian meditation. Eastern meditation is an attempt to empty the mind, whereas Christian meditation is an attempt to fill the mind. And I thought that was it just made me really just stop and think. And just realize that just this whole time, I've never really realized that prayer and meditation were separate things. I know that may seem really silly, but it's interesting, the things you don't know till you realize the things you don't know. But that's what made me really think, and I feel like the other disciplines I'm familiar with, but the meditation piece just really made me stop and really take note, and really think about things. So but these were my thoughts on part 1, and hopefully I'll see y'all in a little bit as I do my part 2. Be blessed.